Hello everyone and welcome back to Project Fern. I'm Danny and today we've got a car that's jumping the queue a bit. It's a non-running Mk1 Berlingo Multispace. I've bought this as a non-runner. I think it's fuel related, maybe it's not getting any. It's a Mk1, done 130,000 mile. It's a 1.6 petrol. The guy didn't want to invest the time in fixing it. It comes with the big roof rack on top, which is brilliant, and he's also thrown in, I don't know if you can see in the back there, an awning that goes on the back for if you go camping. He used to sleep in it on an air mattress when he used to go bike racing, but I've whipped this thing off him. I bought it on Sunday when England were on, when everyone else is in the pub. I'm out buying Berlingo Multispaces. I got it recovered straight away to my unit. So I've just measured the inside of my unit now, and luckily I can get this in just, I think, without having to take this roof rack off. As with all the Berlingos, wicked red. You've got your lacquer peel. I just think these look so smooth. I know it sounds silly saying that about a Berlingo Multispace, but with the narrower lights on the front, I think they look mint. So now it's a case of getting it into the unit, getting it running, and then we can start having a proper look around it. It's fitting the unit spot on. Buzzing I've not had to take that off. I've just been laughing to myself. I've got that sat there. I'm more excited for the fact that I've got that sat there. I'm going to give it a crank over now so you can hear what's happening. You can hear the fuel pump running. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's working, but there is noise from it. So I'll give it a crank over and we'll get the bonnet popped, take a fuel line off, see if we've got any fuel coming through. If not, just work our way back. Could be a blocked fuel filter, I don't know. Could be a sensor, like I say. Very limited information on it. Even though this car's scruffy inside and outside, it's been pretty well maintained. MOT history is good on the car as well, usually just tyres. As with these Berlingos, it's like brand new underneath, just like mine was. Bit of surface rust at the back and stuff, but I can sort that out no problem. Don't mind dropping the axle on this but sort things out. But job for today is to just check what the fuel situation is. I do believe it is that. So that's where I'm going to target first. Hopefully I can get away with just buying a new fuel sender with a pump built in that goes in the fuel tank, and then we can get it running, and then we can have a proper walk around this beast and also get a bit of a to-do list going, because at the moment we have nothing on it. You might have noticed the Astra's gone, sold that. I was never going to get round to doing it. The guy who bought it absolutely loved it, and he's going to spend the next 10 years doing it, he said, no matter what it takes. So less of the rambling, let's get the bonnet popped and get this car going. I'm inside the car now just so you can have a listen at the fuel pump going. You probably won't hear that. I can hear next door's compressor going, which is probably drowning out the sound of the motor in the fuel tank, but I'm going to start having a look now. I couldn't really smell fuel at the front then. You think it'd probably start flooding it, cranking it over so much. But let's get the rocker cover off and see what's going on there. I might whip the plugs out as well and see what condition they're in. I pulled the fuel line off to the injector rail. So I'm just going to crank it over now, see if we get any fuel coming out. Well, as you saw there, it pretty much missed the pot, but there's definitely fuel coming through. So let's move on to the next thing. I'm hoping it's something out. I hope we don't end up messing with sensors and stuff like that, but let's just see how we get on with it. So we know we've got fuel coming in. There could be blocked injectors, but the next simple step I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this coil pack off and check for spark. So there's a bolt missing out of the coil pack. That might have been done by the AA man when the guy broke down in it, just checking a few things, or it might have had a new one in the past and they forgot to put a bolt back in, or they dropped one. But let's get this whipped off now and then see if we got some spark going down. I've got my spark plug testers here. You might have seen me use them in the Astra video, so I'm going to get them put on each spark plug now, and then put the coil pack on, get it cranked over and see what happens. As you saw in the clip there, we have spark. So I'm going to now whip all the plugs out, see what condition they're in, and then carry on trying to diagnose it from there. I'm going to check these plugs now. If not, I'm going to have to leave it there for today and come back to it. It could be sensor related, it could be injector related, I don't know. It's a shame I don't have a proper code reader, see if there's any codes that can be read. I might nip off and see if I can lend one from somewhere. But let's get these plugs out and see what condition they're in. Plug 1 was wet, as you'd expect. If it's getting fuel in there, it's wet the end of the spark plug. I've just pulled out spark plug number 2 and it's bone dry. So I don't know if we're going to have a problem with the injector, maybe in that one, but I'm going to stick this one back in and then just do 3 and 4 and see what they're like. But number 2 spark plug is dry. You'd expect it to be wet with the amount of cranking I've been doing. You'd expect it to have flooded the engine. But let's get 3 and 4 out and see how they look. That's spark plug number 3, wet like number 1 was. Stinks of fuel, as you'd expect. Let's do number 4. Number 4 is wet as well. So we've just got spark plug 2, which was bone dry. I've built it back up, give it a good crank over, still doing exactly the same. So we know we've got fuel, we know we've got spark, we've got an issue maybe with number 2 injector, not too sure on that. But that's whereabouts we're up to for today. I'm going to leave it there for today. As I just mentioned there, we had spark, we've got fuel. Number 2 spark plug was bone dry when the other 3 was wet. So I'm going to have to leave it there, I've run out of time. I'm going to come back in a couple of days and whip the injectors out, give them a clean like I did with the Astra, see if one of them isn't working. I don't know if the car will still work with just 3 injectors pumping. If any of you had this problem before and might think it's sensor related, please let me know in the comment section below. Or if you've enjoyed this quick video today, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and like I just said, any tips or tricks on this one, find them in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video.